Hi guys, my name is Catherine Rufano, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to start an oil painting. This is for beginners who think that oil painting seems like a very daunting, complicated process, but through this tutorial I'm going to show you the easy steps that it takes in order to start creating paintings such as the one behind me. If you want to see any more art related content, you can go to my website at catherinerufano.wordpress.com. Since we will be painting and getting a little messy, you want to put on clothing that you don't mind getting potentially dirty, and you also want to make sure you are wearing gloves. Some of the materials in the paint are not the best for our hands. Next, you'll want a canvas. You can either buy or make your own. I prefer to buy them. I found this one at Michael's. Michael's has really good deals where you can get like buy two, get one free, which is really nice. I like the ones with the thicker stretcher bar just for some more stability and support. Grab some gesso. This is going to be a primer that acts as like a barrier so our paint doesn't just soak up into the canvas. Next, you'll want to grab a big brush. I find all of my big brushes normally at Home Depot. I find that's the cheapest way to get my big brushes. Next, you'll want to take that big brush, dip it into the gesso, and scrape off any excess on the other side. With our brush all ready to go, we're going to use it to apply the gesso all over the surface of the canvas. Want to make sure that we're applying it everywhere, to the edges, to the middle, to the corners, and as you can see the dripping of the gesso. You want to make sure you're doing this in an area where your floors can get dirty or you have a tarp or something underneath to catch that drippage. After applying that even layer of gesso, you're going to want to do these brush strokes. So you're going to go horizontal up the canvas and then vertical going down and along the canvas. And by doing a repetition of these movements, you ensure that the gesso doesn't show any directional brush movements, which could affect the way that the paint lays on the surface of the canvas when you begin painting. This is to show the aftermath where we can see that there's no real clear directional brush strokes that we can see visibly on the canvas. You're going to want to do at least 2 to 3 layers of gesso. This is me doing the second layer after the previous one had dried. This makes sure that not only does your paint look good, but also that it doesn't absorb into the canvas. This provides a really strong barrier. Once all your layers have dried, I brought a new canvas in that I already prepped for this. You're going to want to sand it down. I got the sandpaper at a local Dollar General. You're going to want to sand down the surface to make sure that there's no bumps or any surface texture that will become visible when you begin your painting. Many people may think when they begin painting that they have to get 20,000 different types of colors, but you really only need 5. The primaries, red, yellow, and blue, and then brown and white. And these colors together can basically make every color on the rainbow, even black. The blue and the brown make a really convincing black. I'm also using a glass palette, which I find is a lot cheaper than constantly having to rebuy paper palettes. Next, you'll need Gamsol, another thing you can find at Michael's. This is a painting medium that's going to help us with our next step and also help the oil paints dry faster, which are a notoriously slow drying medium. Find an image you'd like. I want to do this one, and as you can see, the gorilla suit is really purpley. So for our underpainting, I'm going to make a purpley color similar to the one I saw on the screen, and we're going to use that Gamsol to heavily dilute the paint. We want it to be really runny. Once we have that color all ready to go, I'm going to apply it to the canvas. This is what we call an underpainting. So instead of me having to mix all of those purpley shades, this is going to help make that purple shine through when I apply it to other colors, which I think is like a little cheat code, which is really cool. And then I'm using a paper towel to really make sure that that color is getting into the surface of the canvas. Once that underpainting is applied, I'm going to start mapping out all of the different shapes and areas of the picture I want to paint. I'm using the darkest color that I could find in the picture, which is this like dark purple, almost black color. As you can see, I'm mapping out where the head is going to be, where his shoulders are, where the face of the mask is, and where the hairs are. And then I'm going to use this lighter color to really help accentuate the details that I'm looking at. So there's the nose that I just did and the face part of the mask. As you can see with this painting I'm currently working on, a lot of those strokes still are just brush strokes, mark making, but this helps me figure out placement and help tone the canvas, so when I'm ready to add details like in this banana pile here, I can. Thank you guys so much for watching my tutorial on how to start an oil painting. We learned how to treat the surface of the canvas, how to do an underpainting, as well as more of the cost-effective methods we can use when painting. If you liked any part of this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want any more art-related content, go to my website at catherinerufano.wordpress.com.